Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
It's in the nature to just get a few extra.
Oh, these are on. 1, 2,
Oh, they're
1,
on.
2.
Be careful what you say, everyone.
Right, who's in charge?
Andy, come back. Oh, right, okay.
No, we're not in charge.
Before we'll start with the questions, thank you very much, Mr. Tennant, Mr. Lowe, for joining us this evening. We'll start now with a few questions.
Why has he had to move? First question is, what's wrong with that seat? What's wrong with that seat, Andy?
First of all, welcome to Israel.
Yeah,
it's
Thank you
really
very
nice
much.
Seeing you eventually.
Thank you.
You have been here 10 years ago. What do you remember from your last trip? Do you remember how hot it is in Israel?
You're never going to forget how hot it is in Israel. Actually, it wasn't as hot as this last time, because I think we were slightly earlier in the year. I think we were in June last time. But anyway, when you've come from rainy Brussels, we're not complaining.
Shalom, my name is Benny. I'm from the Israeli radio.
Hello.
We met about last time you've been here.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you 2 questions, if possible. I'm from the news department, so I would like to ask, what do you think about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? Do you have any opinion about it? Why it's so funny?
That.
We know how to solve it, but it's not our job to tell you.
No comments.
That's
Okay.
that's why you've got Tony Blair
Okay,
over here.
last time.
That's why Tony Blair's sorting it all
He'll
out.
sort it all out. He'll sort.
You trust him.
He's sorted out Iraq, and now he's sorting out here. And then he's going to sort out Europe.
Will you invite him to come to your show? He is not far from here.
We have no plans to invite him to our show.
Look, last time you've been here in Israel, you told me that I think your father was an officer here in Israel during the British mandate. And
He wasn't an officer, he was a trainee navigator.
Okay, and that you have at home a lot of pictures from that time
Of Jerusalem.
of Jerusalem. Is it possible to see these pictures?
No. They're interesting though. When we were in Jerusalem 9 years ago, I was surprised how similar the scenes were to the photographs my father took in 1945.
רז שכניק, ידיעות אחרונות.
Hello, welcome. You asked not to ask you about Michael Jackson, and I wonder why, because it's very interesting.
That's a question about Michael Jackson.
Just tell me why you don't want us to ask about him.
That's a question about Michael Jackson.
All right.
Well, it's just that everyone's got something to say about it, and we don't want to add to it.
אוריה וואי ב10.
Hi. Can you tell us a little bit about your schedule, where you're going to visit around the country, and how many days are you planning on staying in Israel?
We're here until, what day is this? Today's Sunday. We're here until Wednesday, and we just want to relax, actually. But I think tomorrow we're appearing on Israeli Pop Idol. Is that correct? Yes. So I think we'll just relax tomorrow, and then we have to do the TV show. And then on Wednesday is the concert. So the last time we were here for a few days, so we did some sightseeing. I would quite like to go to Gaza, though, but I don't think I'm going to get time.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Your last album was received very well. Do you think it helped to promote this show? How did it help you to, plan this tour?
I don't know, really. I mean, the album, yes, has been received very well in a lot of places, which is really great. And we were very, very happy with the album when we made it. So I guess it's one of the reasons we've come on tour as well. But I think if your record is on the radio, you'll sell more tickets. I don't actually know if our record's on the radio in Israel. No one's told me. But and I think in Britain we got this award at the Brits Awards, the lifetime, not lifetime achievement, the outstanding contribution to music, and I think in Britain that upped our profile quite a bit as well. But I think, it's one of the best albums we've made, and I think there's always a certain amount of cynicism in the music business that people assume that when you've been around for a long time, your albums are just going to get sort of worse and worse and worse. And I think our latest album has so much freshness and energy. I think actually some people don't even know how to deal with that because it's not what the narrative's meant to be like.
Is there a preferred song on this set list, on this current set list, for you?
Well, actually, in this show, we do 2 songs from our first album that we've never played live before. And one was called Why Don't We Live Together? And I really like doing that one. But I must say, I enjoy doing the whole show. It's very enjoyable to do.
Can you tell us a little bit about the show? What's going to be on the playlist? And are you going to stick to the hits or, show the audience something new?
Well, the show is planned like a theatrical performance. We worked with, on the music, we worked with the producer Stuart Price, who's produced The Killers' last album and Madonna's album before last. And so it's very electronic sounding. It's in 4 acts. We then worked with a theatre designer, stroke director called Ez Devlin, who's really an opera director, or opera designer, I should say. And she came up with this very clever concept. And so really it's a mixture of music and theatre, which means it's the same every night because it's very multimedia, there's a lot of video, it's dance. We have four dancers who can sing in it. But it's, as I said to the last guy, it's a very enjoyable show to do, and you get hits, you get some new stuff, you get some obscure stuff. But I think it's got a lot of energy.
From 88 FM, we talked about 2 weeks ago over the phone.
Okay. Yeah.
How are you?
Very good.
Have you ever heard Israeli music? Do you have any thoughts about Israeli music other than, let's say, Ofra Haza, maybe that you heard about her? Or anything about Israeli music? Even dance
I know
act.
Infected Mushroom.
Are you on?
I don't know. I have a phobia of microphones. Infected Mushroom, they're Israeli, aren't they?
Right.
Yeah, I really like them.
All right.
Tony Fine, Israel Radio. As the years go by, does it get harder and harder to create new works that are popular and sell well, or does it get easier?
It doesn't get harder to write songs. It's sort of different because you've learned a lot about music along the way. But I mean, it's still an exciting thing to do, to go in a studio and write a new song, and then you've made something that didn't exist the day beforehand or something. The commercial aspect is very, very difficult. The music business has changed such a lot. When you've been around for a long time, I mean, understandably in some ways, there's always going to be a certain amount of cynicism, or people think, you don't fit the age group of their radio station or something. But that's really out of our hands, and I think at some point you have to be kind of philosophical about that. But I think we are both very committed to making music that sounds very fresh and interesting and euphoric even. And I think we still succeed in doing that.
Are you planning something special to celebrate 25 years since the first hit single?
No, I guess maybe this album is a celebration. Actually, it didn't occur to us when they told us we were going to get this Brit Award for Outstanding Contribution. It was only then we did the maths and realised it was 25 years. And actually, I couldn't quite believe it was 25 years. I thought I got the figures wrong.